Yo, what is up, everybody? This is going to be What If Naruto Had Ultra Instinct Part 3. Yeah, Part 3. Okay, in 2 days, I will be making What If Tanjiro was the reincarnation of Yoriichi Part 4 in 2 days. And I'm actually going to start a Deku What If after I do the Tanjiro What If. I'm not going to spoil what he is or what he is going to be or get. That's just gonna be a surprise. All right. So all right. Oh, and the ship is Naruto X Ino. Okay, so we go to where Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, and Konohama are walking back, and Naruto's having a flashback about saving this girl with blonde hair and kind of palish skin, and so these bullies are the exact same bullies that bullied Hinata, but except it's So Naruto just folded him and said, "Are you okay?" And she's blushing and she's stuttering like, "Thank you." And then she goes on with her day. Back to present. Konohamaru bumps into Kankuro, and Kankuro picks him up, or Kankuro sees him and says, "Watch out, you little brat!" And then he goes and or picks up Konohamaru by the throat, and Naruto says, "Put him down. If you want to start a war with the Hidden Leaf, that's the grandson of the third Hokage. I suggest you put him down." And then Naruto looks up and sees Gaara upside, and Gaara's eyes flick upwards and face Naruto. And when they lock eyes, or Gaara feels similar or feels something similar, like they have something very very in common. And Gaara is thinking, or Naruto and Gaara are thinking, what makes each other tick? And Naruto says, "I'm Naruto. Who are you?" And Gaara, without missing a beat, Gaara of the Sand. And then, and he looks away at Sasuke because he's not interested in Sasuke. He's only interested in Naruto. So yeah, and Gaara says, "Kanko, Tamari, we're leaving." And then Naruto's confused about why there are shinobi or a sand shinobi in the Hidden Leaf. So they go to Kakashi and explain what happened, and Kakashi tells them about the Chunin exam. And yeah, and so everything happens to Ken, and Sakura follows in Sasuke's footsteps and everything. And we're gonna have like a training montage of Naruto and Sasuke, mainly Sasuke. Naruto is strong. His strength is equivalent to like Master Ultra Instinct Goku. I'm just gonna put him. He's very OP. But yeah, and so Sasuke's just training on his Shuriken Taijutsu because Naruto's just a walking dodging machine. You really can't touch him. And they also have his senses, his hearing, and or his sight blocked off, so he really couldn't like know when to dodge or yeah, and yeah. So Sasuke is improving a lot, and yeah, and then everything goes, and then they go to the tower or the building that they were, or Kakashi spoke about. And when Naruto walked into the room, he felt himself vibrating, and the room was completely still. And on the other word, Sasuke felt the air a little bit heavy, and Sakura just good at identifying genjutsu. So they go to the two tuning and they walk in, and then Lee comes in with a wood or tries to kick Naruto from behind. Naruto just moves his head to the right and catches Lee's leg and throws him. And yeah, and Lee says, "So you're Naruto Uzumaki, the one who slayed Zabuza Momochi, if I'm correct? Zabuza Momochi, or was it? Dude, I don't remember. But yeah, like he said that the Slayer of Zabuzama Mochi and put in the bingo book. And Naruto said and says, "Yeah, that's me." That was pretty cheap attacking from behind. Well, I applaud your efforts, but you will fail miserably, unfortunately. And yeah, and then Lee says, "Hi, so you're getting cocky, eh?" And Naruto just says, "I'm not getting cocky. I just know you're going to fail." And so Lee goes and attacks Naruto. He tries everything, but he just can't hit Naruto, basically. And so other words on, and yeah, and Naruto's had enough. Grabs these legs and throws him, and then kicks Lee and right in the stomach. And Lee just says, "Ah!" Then he stumbles back and said, "That was a really hard punch." And then Lee goes to try to open the first gate, but my guy stops him and he says, "Wait for the Chunin or wait for the preliminary exams." And yeah, and so yeah, so that happens. They go in. Naruto just being the smartass he is, he just answers the question without any problem, beating Minato's record by a mile. I don't know what his record was, but yeah. So yeah, and then everything goes, and then it's time for the Forest of Death. Naruto, or Naruto's not even paying attention, so everything canon where Anko throws a kunai, if I'm correct, a kunai at Naruto's cheek, but Naruto dodges his head slightly and it misses. And then when he dodged, he actually grabbed the kunai and throws it back, scratching her cheek instead. And Orochimaru saw this and says, "This kid's gonna be very interesting." And she's yeah. So they go into the forest. They get the scroll they need. I mean, they just beat up like a random team, just whatever. And they get the scroll. And they were going to the tower, and Naruto feels a massive chakra coming, and then a massive snake comes, and then Naruto puts it pull or extends his hand out in like a key press position, and then all of a sudden a gust of air pressure hits the snake, sending it back. Then Orochimaru is surprised that he was able to make that type of wind pressure. And then Orochimaru appears, not even saying his name, and says, and looks at Sasuke, and then looks back at Naruto, and Naruto says, "Who are you? You're no ordinary Chunin, are you?" And then he obviously said that, "No, I'm not." And Naruto can sense the malicious intent and is going everywhere and trying to paralyze them. Like it paralyzes Sakura and Sasuke like a little bit, but he snaps out of it because he has seen real power, and this is nothing to him or nothing to Sasuke. Naruto says, "I can see you're paralyzing my team. I will not let you do that." So Naruto rushes in and punches Orochimaru right in the face. He just basically has like like the Goku fighting style. He knows the Goku fighting style. Yeah, so Naruto's just wailing on Orochimaru at this point, and Orochimaru has had enough and sheds out of his skin and shows his true self. And he looks at Sasuke, licks his lip, says, "Sasuke, I will get your body." And those wonderful eyes. And Sasuke is weirded out by this. Of course, who would be weirded out if somebody wants your body while he's licking his lips? So yeah, and then Orochimaru tries to extend it or goes to extend his neck, and Naruto is caught off guard a little bit, but focuses up again and kicks away his head, and it retracts again. Yeah, so while they're fighting, he summons another snake. He tells the snake to go attack Naruto. This snake actually made an opening for Orochimaru, and he was able to extend his neck to Sasuke. Oh, jeez, I need it. And then after that, Sasuke was screaming in pain, and then Naruto says, what do you do with Sasuke? You're gonna pay for doing that." And then Naruto, or the ground beneath Naruto, cracks and his hair turns white, and he appears right behind Orochimaru with his hand like extended to the right. And then all of a sudden, Orochimaru gets hit from a barrage of punches, and then Orochimaru comes like What the this kid's punches are stronger than Tsunade by, by a millionfold. And then by this point, Orochimaru is severely weakened by these punches, and he goes to charge up a Kamehameha or Kamehameha, and but Orochimaru does a substitution and substitutes with a rock, and then he gets away, and Naruto says, "Damn it, I let him get away." And then Naruto goes to check on Sasuke, and he shares the way that says, "Sasuke," and then he sees the curse mark on Sasuke's neck, and he goes and sees that it has a part of Orochimaru's soul in it. So yeah, and so he says, I can sense that his soul is in this curse mark or whatever this thing is. And then he goes. Naruto is a 10 out of 10 seal master, so he seals away the curse mark. So Sasuke is normal. So Sasuke's just normal. He can use chakra, like unlike the original where he couldn't. So yeah, and then they go to the tower and then wait, I believe 1 week or 2 weeks, and then I believe I don't remember, but and then they do everything Naruto, and then the fights go as in canon. Naruto versus Kiba, Sasuke versus that random one, and then Sakura versus Ino, and Hinata versus Neji, and whoever, I don't care. Oh, and Tenten versus Tamari, and then I don't care about the rest. Alright, for Kiba versus Naruto. Naruto just extend his hand, same position as Ki Blast, and a wind pressure, and then knocks out Kiba, or instead Kiba hits the wall and gets knocked out. And for Lee versus Gara, this is actually going to be very interesting. When Naruto is watching Lee versus Gara, he notices that Gara is going to crush Lee's legs. So Naruto, in a calm voice, says, "Lee, get out of there." But it was already too late. Gara-san grabs Lee's legs and crushes them, and then with blinded speed, uh, he's still in Omen form. So with blinded speed, he goes and catches Lee and looks back at Gara and in a calm, like almost like his calmness is basically like if like the world's gonna end, he's gonna be like, so this is how it's gonna be. It's like scary, like to see how calm he is. So that's what Naruto is right now. It's like there was no necessary, there was no reason for you to do that. This is just a friendly match. You didn't have to go that far. And this actually annoys Gara because he's being so calm. And so yeah, and then that happened. Lee still goes to the hospital. Hinata versus Neji still goes in canon, but when he saw that Neji was going to kill Hinata, he stopped and caught every one of the blows without even flinching. And so yeah, then everything goes in canon. They train, or Naruto actually is going to train for the 1 month. He's still going to meet Jiraiya, where Jiraiya is peeping on the woman on the springs, if I'm correct, or whatever the bath was. But yeah, and then when Naruto's walking around the village, he sees this white-haired guy wearing clothes and says, "Hey, you, why are you peeping on those girls?" In a calm voice, as always. And then Jiraiya gets scared and says, what the? Kid, what are you doing here? And then he says, um, I suggest you stop peeping on the girls. It's very rude. And then he notices that he has read about the legendary Sonic, so he knows about Jiraiya. He says, "Are you Jiraiya, the Toad Sage?" Uh, Princess and Jiraiya says, "Yes, I am. I'm Jiraiya, the Toad Sage." And yeah, and then Naruto says, "I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Pleasure to meet you, Sani." Then Jiraiya gets a little bit taken aback because this is Minato-san, and says, "Hey," or Naruto says, "Hey, can you train me, Jiraiya?" And then Jiraiya says, but yes, but only if you can catch me." So he uses body flicker because he just wants to catch him. So when Jiraiya body flickers, Naruto's body flicker acts the same as Shisui. So every single time Jiraiya body flickers, Naruto body flickers, and then he finally says, "Fine, I will train you." And then yeah, so the first week or in the first day, should I say, he summons Gamabutta or yeah, oh yeah, and also when Naruto said, I can't buy myself, my hand won't let me. Can you bite it for me? And then Jiraiya obliges and bites his finger and does the summoning jutsu and summons Gamabutsu, and then all of the things happen where you have to stay on Gamabutsu's head. That happens. So yeah. Hold on, I actually want to know how many. Okay, 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 okay. And Naruto's actually gonna learn the Rasengan in one day. So the day after that, Naruto, no, so Naruto does the Rasengan in one hand. Oh, what? Uh, that took me like a year to just to do it with one hand, and you already mastered it. And Jiraiya is completely surprised, taken aback. So this kid really is a prodigy. Huh. He is the child of prophecy. Well, he is still the reincarnation of Ashura. Asura or Ashura. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, and Jiraiya tells him about how the Rasengan is not yet complete, and he nods his head and says, "So this technique is not yet completed." And so he spends and about like on the last week, Naruto is trying to put in or by this week or on the last week he has already put in fire style, lightning style, or just making the vanishing Rasengan already, and earth style. Wait, hold up. Fire style, lightning style, earth style, wind wind style, and and then yeah, so on, yeah. And then Naruto says, but there's something that I can do. So Naruto focuses up and creates the Rising Shuriken. And yes, he's going to create the Rising Shuriken more earlier or a lot earlier in canon. So he's actually going to put a nature in it, which applies to all five chakra natures. And this is classified as S. You know, just because it's a fire, it's gonna count as a triple S Renjutsu. So very, very dangerous. So yeah, so Naruto doesn't use the wrestling Shuriken and then they go to the fights or finals. Everything goes to Ken Gaara versus Sasuke, Naruto versus Neji. Oh, and by the way, Naruto still gave the speech, but he was going to change the Hyuga way. All right, so Naruto versus Neji. So Neji says that destiny is on my side and you're not going to be able to win. It's best to leave and not face me. On the other hand, Naruto says, you really think that destiny has decided this battle? You are wrong. I have already won this battle. You can't win. I have the ultimate defense. And then Neji has enough of Naruto and the proctor says, three, two, one, go. Uh, Neji runs to Naruto and says, "Hey, Trigram, 64 palms," and does every single palm, but misses every palm. And and when Naruto was going to attack, Neji did rotation, and Naruto with his finger is like a surgeon and cuts right through the rotation and hits his chakra point, immobilizing Neji. And then that's the battle. And Naruto, I mean, not Naruto, Sasuke versus Scar, that's actually going to be very interesting. So, okay, so everything goes to canon when Sasuke is preparing to do the Chidori, but this time he's more stronger than canon, so it actually pierces Gaara's hand and traumatizes him because he sees his own blood and transforming into the partial one tails or partial one Shikaku with the flip and everything. So yeah, so everything and Naruto says there's gonna be a Genjutsu. So be careful. And then everything goes to canon where the sand attacks the hidden leaf, and you know, ah, jeez, my nose. Oh, Jesus Christ. So yeah, so everybody that in canon got out of the Genjutsu. They help out the village. Naruto goes down to where Sasuke and says, Sasuke, Leave this to me. And Sasuke says, yeah, right. Oh, and since they're Uchiha, since the Uchiha clan massacre never happened, that means that there are gonna be Uchiha helping out in the invasion. Invasion. Can I call it an invasion? I think I can. So, yeah, and so Naruto fights Gaara, and Gaara is losing badly. It's almost humiliating at this point. And and this is where Gaara gets angry, and Shikaku takes over and does the possum jutsu for him. And yeah, so and then Naruto says, I didn't think I would have to resort to this, but Naruto creates a 1-3-2 Shadow Clones, and Naruto makes a one style wrestling shuriken and a fire style wrestling shuriken and a lightning style wrestling shuriken. And this is the vanishing wrestling shuriken. So when they throw his vanishing wrestling gun or vanishing wrestling shuriken vanishes and then hits Shikaku, immediately knocking him out. And he catches Gaara and tells him the same speech about or does his talk no jutsu because he will still have talk no jutsu. And so yeah, he goes back and sees that the our old man is not there, and he goes to check up on him, and he sees that there is a purple barrier. Yeah. A purple barrier with the Sound Four, and Kakashi and the others are trying to get in, and then Naruto, like a surgeon, takes his one finger and cuts through the cuts through the barrier, and then reseals the barrier up, and says and sees that he's fighting the first Hokage and the second Hokage, I believe, if I'm correct. Yeah, and then Hiruzen was just about to get slapped by or hit by Tobirama. Naruto with blinding speed grabs Hiruzen and says, "Old man, are you all right?" And then Hiruzen says, "Yeah, I'm all right, Naruto." And then Hiruzen goes to do the Reaper Death Seal, and Naruto is fighting the the first Hokage and second Hokage. And this is actually going to be very interesting because he's actually going to get a title out of this by Hashirama himself. And Naruto sees that Orochimaru is controlling um Hashirama and Tobirama. Naruto so Naruto goes and releases them from their control, and then they look back at Naruto. Or yeah, okay. So when Hashirama and Tobirama were fighting Naruto, they saw that he couldn't hit him. And by the way, he's the master ocean, so he was just hitting them that they just couldn't even land a punch. Naruto would through Rasengan and Shadow Jutsu, and this really impresses that to see that this young boy is stronger than them, even combined. So after that, and and yeah, and this gave Hiruzen enough time to do the Reaper Death Seal, and Naruto says, "Old man, don't do it." And then Hiruzen says, "Thank you for the opportunity, Naruto, but it looks like this is gonna be my final goodbye. I'm sorry, Naruto, that you couldn't meet your parents." And he does the reproduction, and Naruto tries to stop Hiruzen, and but it's already too late. And then Naruto is on the ground shedding tears, but with no expression, and says, "Hiruzen, why? You didn't have to do this, Hiruzen. You didn't. Why?" And then Hashirama and Tobirama console him, say, "It's alright, kid." And then and then somehow Orochimaru got them to or or when or just release. And I'm gonna just say that Kakashi, my guy, Kurenai, Asuma, and some other were there, and they saw that Hashirama was speaking to Naruto and says, "Kid, I want to give you a title from me. You are going to be the new God of Shinobi." And then Naruto says, "But I can't be a God of Shinobi. I'm just a kid. I'm just a kid with no emotions. How can I be a God of Shinobi?" Then Hiruzen, and then Hashirama says, "You can be a God of Shinobi, kid. You just have to believe in yourself that you can do it. Now, as the God of Shinobi, make us proud, make other Hokages proud, or the previous Hokages before, or the make the past Hokage proud, including myself. And Naruto nods his head and says, I will, I will be the best God of Shinobi. And Hashima says, thank you, kid. And then they leave, and then everybody heard this. Kakashi was like, Naruto, you're the new god of Shinobi. And then Orochimaru was and heard this and says, this kid is the new god of Shinobi. And then he tries to run away, and by this time his hair is white. So he says, no, you're not getting away. And then the sound for and Kabuto, no, actually Kabuto got right in front of Naruto, and Naruto punched right through Kabuto because he lost Ruse in one of his closest, and he saw him as a great grandpa, and he was very upset that he lost him. So he killed Kabuto. Actually, never mind. Actually, no, bro. Actually, so yeah, Kabuto doesn't die, but all the Sun Four do die, and then Kabuto is still alive, and so they go, and Orochimaru escapes, and then he says, "Damn it, I let them escape, even though I'm the new god of Shinobi. I let them escape." And then word spreads around the village that Naruto is the new god of Shinobi, and it gets to the Uchihas and say, Naruto is the new god of Shinobi? We have a new god of Shinobi! And so yeah, and he's very upset, and he attends Hiruzen's memorial, and he sheds one tear while in Master Instinct, and Sasuke comes and hugs Naruto, and he says, "I'm sorry for your loss." And Itachi's there, and Mikoto Fugaku are there, and so they're sad from the death of the third Hokage. And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it off, guys. Remember, leave a like, and please subscribe to this channel to see when I'm going to upload a new What If. And yeah, in 2 days I'm going to do What If Tanjiro was the reincarnation of Yorichi Part 4. So be prepared. Alright, this is going to be good.